about alien abduction, you don't get abducted by aliens. You get visited by light beings. These are um, the beings that visit you or that would um, appear to you in at a certain stage in your life. That's if you are have any sort of spiritual or divine connection to them. So people have an imagination to the point where they could believe or want you to believe what they believe, um, but it's all imaginatory because the physical body doesn't leave the physical realm and return to the physical realm. These are all um, allegorical things that the mind produces or the mind creates. But you are normally visited by light beings, beings of light. And if you experience that, that experience would never be, you wouldn't forget that experience. Like when I was a child and didn't understand the the way that the divine would appear to you, I was I could have probably been around about 5, maybe 6 years old in Earth years, and I was um, a being of light appeared to me, and you know I woke up everybody in my house. Like we stayed in this area. It was called Sherman Street, and like I remember it like it was yesterday. But they appeared to me, like the being appeared to me, and I got up and screamed, like woke everybody up in my house because it startled you, especially when you don't understand why they would appear to you. And everybody woke up. I shared the room with my brother, and he was fast asleep, but I was woke. I was. This was not a dream. This was a real being appearing, in like a being, but it was all light. And my mother came, my father came, and as opposed to them, telling me like, "Hey, you just had a bad dream. Go back to sleep." My father sat down, and he was trying to figure out who it was. One of his brothers passed away, and he was asking me, was it Jimmy? Was it Jimmy? And it wasn't my uncle because my uncle was a tall, slim individual. This being was it was a lot shorter than my uncle, and it was a lot more um, fuller than my uncle. And it had no face. It was just in the doorway of my room, and he was trying to pick my brain to see who it was. This is why I say that my father may have been somebody in the spiritual realm, and he may have lost touch with that. But when I came, he I brought back some of his understanding of who he was, because it was me that was able to lead my father from the abuse of drugs, which was heroin. And in the video where I told you about the YouTubers, the drug that they use to break down certain um, beings from the past was heroin, was opium. And that's what they're using to this day, because there's beings that I've met, like grays. These aren't alien looking grays. These are people with gray eyes. And they're heroin addicts, but they said that they're on a mission, and their mission, their whole plight is to take down the hierarchy of Baphomet. And the person called them the Illuminats. like the, I guess the Illuminati, and they said that that's what their plight was, but they're failing their mission because I guess they're addicted to a certain drug, and it had to be the truth, because why would this person with gray eyes say these things to me, and that's just, it can't just be their belief. It has to be part of what it is, because she said that she's a witch. She's a witch, and they want restitution for the persecution of other witches throughout the course of the history here on this planet. And she said that her plight was to take down the hierarchy of Baphomet, which, this is something that you see that's prevalent here on this planet. You can just look around and see who is connected to what. And like the beings appear to me, and I didn't understand at that point in time why they would appear to me. And my father, he knew something about something. So when I seen Dr. Malachi York, and I'm not really too familiar with any of his teachings or anything that he speak about, but I do see that he has certain symbols and knowledge that I'm familiar with myself, divinely familiar with these things. And a lot of beings that he shows images of, they look like my family. They look like my father, and the beings that he showed you, that light being, when he's in that that glow, that's what the beings actually look like, that glow. And so he has certain divine knowledge that it's not a coincidence that he has that knowledge, and you can see that as well. And there's a sister on here, Sister Monica. Her name is Monica Elohim, and I just stumbled across her page or her channel, and the information that she has is just, it's mind blowing how she has this information, and it's just the information that you need to piece these things together about, events that's transpiring with you, or, why certain people are against you, because she spoke about, the highest degree in masonry is the third degree, and you get that through being initiated divinely. And when I was in Philly, there was a certain initiation that took place in the spiritual realm with me, and it was a fraternity. And I was thinking that it was maybe my grandfather, or it was the same being that appeared to me at 5 or 6 years old. The same being that was in my house in the doorway. The same being appeared to me in a dream and gave me 2 rings. One ring was an emerald ring, and the other one was an onyx ring. And they said that you're chosen. You are chosen. And she indicated that the divine chooses you, not, and man carries that out. So what I understood about me being, watched and under certain observation is by a certain fraternal order. So I had asked my uncle, after that dream, like I told him I had a dream, it was about my grandfather, and was my grandfather part of any kind of fraternal order. But he ghosted me. I spoke with him. This was on Facebook. So I told him, they gave me 2 rings. It was a good dream. They gave me 2 rings. I'm trying to understand what that was all about. So um, he never responded to me. But there's something with this fraternal order and the divine that's just not, you know, it's I'm trying to make a little bit more sense of why, you know, I had to experience certain things that I experienced, because Dr. Malachi York is a part of that order, and then, you know, he was taken down by, you know, something that wasn't righteous. So they said that he was guilty of child molestation, and the righteous, the righteous cannot do certain things. So if this is a righteous being, you know better than that. You know better than, you know, to sexually assault children or to do anything that's just outside of the line of righteousness. So with me, it was brought to my attention by the divine that there was a group of people slandering me with pedophilia. They're saying that I was a pedophile, and that is not true. It's no need for me to defend myself, because that's just not true. My whole plight is to serve. When I'm with a female, is to serve her. It's to pleasure a female, not for me to have self gratification. Not for me to get off and that's that. No, it's for me to please, or to please women, and it's definitely not children. You know better than that. So there's rumors that's been brought to my attention by the divine that, you know, these people are trying to slander your name with pedophilia, and once they bring these things out and it's known publicly, then the public has will become opinionated, and you know that's not right. So it's something that's just not right that would put that type of information out about you. So maybe Dr. Malachi York is in fact innocent, because the righteous, we just can't do that. But maybe the righteous or the people that's in that position should look into it and, you know, bring forth justice where justice is due. Because if that is the case, then, you know, it's a wicked organization that's supposed to be a righteous organization carrying out wicked acts. So with me, they gave me 2 rings, and they had me on this boat, and they gave me a pamphlet. And like I said, a couple of days ago, I ran across a channel, and the woman, she was given like this information. You cannot make this information up. And she said that, you know, the highest degree in that particular fraternity is 3rd degree. But when it comes to man, the highest level is 33rd degree. So that's has to be the truth, because anybody could join something. Anybody could join something that, you know, want power or want to be a part of something with power behind it, or, you know, this is the thing that rules the world. Anybody could join it. But when it comes to you being divinely initiated into it, only divine knows your heart. So you had people, you know, trying to set you up, you know, for a long time, you know, with females, or try to make you seem like you're a molestful person when you're not. You're a person that might see women in a certain state and want to bring them out of that state, because you know the power that women possess, and you know who they actually are, and want to bring them up to that level, to bring them up to a virtuous level. And they'll you know, try to accuse you or try to make you seem like you're something other than who you actually are. And I experienced that. But these are not aliens. These are divine beings. But to us, they might not appear in the same physical form. So if we don't understand who they are, we'll, call them this or call them that. But there's actually um, exist beings that are light beings. And like I said about the shadow beings as well, like with my father telling my mother who I was, and the shadow being coming to check out my eye. And there's the light beings, and then there's the shadow beings, the dark beings, the people of the darkness, and they are real. They are definitely real. So, anybody that's telling you they've been abducted by aliens or this, that, and the third ever since this age and that age, these are, liars, and they could be, puppets for a certain group of people that don't want to adhere to what it is that they're supposed to be adhering to. And while we're here, our whole duty is to bring forth justice for like our ancestors that may have been wrongly or that if certain events or acts took place. That's why a lot of people say, you have to leave Egypt alone. Like don't go back to Egypt. You always have to go back to Egypt. If there's people that needs justice, then you would have to go back and bring forth justice. You just can't leave them back there and allow those events that transpire to just transpire. So, no, there's always going to be justice. Justice has no limitation. So it could be 1,000 years, it could be 100 million years, but justice will have to be, carried out. Because if not, then what's the purpose of justice? But I say that to say that, I've been visited by light beings, and I've seen shadow beings as well. And what is the what is all the secrecy about? What is all the cover up about? What is all the slander about? These are things that, as a being of light, you want to know. So, yeah, there's two different sides, and there's always two different sides to every story. And we're just trying to get to the bottom of, all of the deception. That's it. That's what we're trying to get to. Why would people say that they're abducted by aliens when the physical body can't, leave this planet? It could leave, but you would definitely have to have some sort of suit so you could have oxygen when you do leave here. And then to come back, that's just not, entirely true. So there's those that, lie with agendas. Then there's some that lie because they're just compulsive liars. But then there's those that tell the truth because the truth is in them. So it's going to eventually come out of them. So this is my truth. I've been visited by light beings ever since a child. And I was visited by light beings when I was in Philly. And they gave me 2 rings. And those 2 rings was symbolic to eternal life and eternal protection. So that's what, the emerald ring would stand for. And that's what the onyx ring would stand for. So I have no reason to fabricate anything, but you might have a reason to fabricate certain things. So you should just do right and honor the truth, because the truth is what's keeping you bonded. You might be in bondage to a lie, and as long as you're hiding behind that lie, you're going to always be in bondage. So you should come out of wherever you're hiding at and face the truth.